All 7 families established the nation of Asa Tay and the Yun family rose to the throne. They kept each other in check and kept the balance of power. But Sejong Sung, the leader of Sejong family, started showing his greedy nature. Drama starts with Sejong Sung beating his son, the male lead, called Sejong Hyun, because he saw him painting and happily enjoying this hobby of his. His father wanted his son to become a real man and bring him to watch him invade the Yun's home, which was the female lead's home, and slaughter all of her family to become the king. His father claims that Yun Pyong-hak, the female lead's father, is a traitor. Yun Pyong-hak questioned him if he committed treason where he murdered his majesty. He just laughs in his face and started a fight with him and ends up killing him while his son watches. Female lead, called Yun Wol, came and saw this scene where he killed her father and promised to take revenge on him. She went to hide and everyone was searching to kill her. Just then, a footstep where the one who killed her father approaches and was stopped by the young male lead Sejong Hyun, and he pointed to another direction of where he saw her. After that, the whole Yun family house was set on fire and Yun Wol ends up the only one surviving from her family. Sejong Hyun developed a trauma since then. 10 years later, Yun will appear as a dancer and ends up in a fight with a corrupt official who selects beautiful women to provide to the king. Together with her sidekick, they managed to escape. They wandered and looked through the terrible streets, with many corrupted officials and poor people, saying that the so-called king was spending every day drinking, partying, and having fun with women, with the entire country being infested with human trafficking. Yun Wol then sneaks into a fabric clothing store since the store person did not allow her to go in and ends up falling from the roof into the store. She was shocked to see that it was not a woman inside, but a man. Eventually, she starts arguing with Sejong Hyun because he won't fix her clothes. After all, she is an assassin who did not take care of her clothes properly and does not have the right to wear his clothes and cannot fix them. Yun Wol then starts asking for money back from him and starts questioning him if he have no friends and if he is not close to his family, because he locks himself up to work and lies that he is a seamstress, which refers to a woman who earns a living by sewing. Saying his family must be against him for doing this, meaning that he cannot even be proud of his work. But Sejong Hyun took it as an insult and thought she was mocking him, but then she said that whether it's a man or woman, he only needs to enjoy what he do. She told him he cannot live like this, and he should not be ashamed just because of his unsupportive parents. After that, Yun Wol left and Sejong Hyun headed back to his pavilion with a meeting. His father questions him if he is wasting his time carrying useless drawings again. His father scolds him for being pathetic and said many nasty things. This time Sejong Hyun suddenly thought about Yun Wol's words and almost said some things that couldn't be said but was eventually stopped by his half-blood brother. They all know Sejong Hyun has a so-called madness where he switches personalities, and hence His Majesty did not allow him as a crown prince to attend the assembly, and Sejong Hyun also chooses not to attend it. His half-brother then comforted him not to bother about it so much. Going out to hunt tomorrow morning with His Majesty, he must not sleep, because once he sleeps his other personality, called Arki, will wake up. He eventually showed up for hunting the next morning, causing everyone to be shocked. Ji Jon Seo, his martial arts master, started to question if he was okay since he did not sleep last night. But male lead asked him how he knows if he did not sleep. He said he made him sad because he was Arki. Next, Arki stops by a place where he meets Yun Wol and starts to compete with her in the fight, and eventually found out the person he was fighting with is a woman, and eventually Yun Wol ran away, and Arki wins the fight, rewarded with lots of money. Arki caught up with Yun Wol to ask her to show her face, but ends up fighting with her and his mask was torn out half. Yun Wol then questioned him if he has done fixing her clothes. But Arki was surprised that she knew him and questioned her how did she know him. Yun Wol just said that he was way better being a tailor. Arki then realized it was Sejong Hyun that she met. He then asked if she preferred the person she saw back at the garment place over him. And she replied with yes and went off her way. Arki was fascinated as he never seen someone who prefers the half-wit Sejong Hyun over him. To bring the throne to its rightful state and save the people who are suffering under a tyrant, Sejong Hyun half-brother decides to kill the king with the help of Yun Wol. Yun Wol agreed and had been waiting for very long to avenge her family. Just when everything was going according to the plan, the king ends up not choosing her and chooses another woman. However, Yun Wol arrives at the bathing area and awaits for the king to kill him. But just when she wielded her knife, she suddenly feels dizzy and falls into the arms of an unknown person, which was the crown prince, and passed out. She then wakes up after 4 days with no memory at Her Highness Consort Hyo's bedchamber. And ends up being the crown prince's concubine called Her Highness Consort Hyo. At this time, the crown prince arrived and hugged her, saying that she had finally become his woman and he missed her. So actually the crown prince told his father he wants to take the dancer he chosen, knowing that Yunwoo will change with the dancer. And that ends off episode 1.